Check it, a voice recording in progress. I'm coming at you through Zoom, and I'm heading over to my chart land. I just did a really quick impromptu video on adding the moving averages to these charts. If you're over on YouTube, really quick, I'm on Palladium. Metals, we're going to have a metal section coming up. You can see this thing came off the 618. Your 1,000 was your risk level, and it does have to beat that red moving average, but most likely Palladium is going to moon. So a little bit of introduction. It's a Saturday night's macro. The metals are more macro to me. So 9/27/2025. Excuse me, just one second. You really shouldn't have to hear that, but I think I sent it way that way. So I'll say it's 10:52 p.m., 9/27/2025. And this is a client video first. So my clients, I said 8 o'clock, and they're like, Scott. And I'm like, I know, it's almost 11. I just got busy. Sometimes it's hard. I was kind of like, look, I was studying the market, thinking about what I was going to do here on this video, this macro Saturday night. And then I started working on the first 50 subs of the YouTube. You are the first 50 subs. If you're interested in coming on and having a live Telegram where you can chat, then you come down into the comments and you engage, and you're going to need to be verified. We're going to kind of need to know who you are, because I have had a community up under me before, and you're going to have to engage and show interest, and in some sort of way, you're going to have to qualify. I'm not just putting, you just have no idea what shows up. So we're not going to talk about the crypto industry tonight, but one night we may. So wonderful example of a pullback trade entry at the 618, the math, which I will tend to show you over and over and over in anything that I show you with crypto. But I do like the other markets, Forex, metals, and that is a really good bounce. And we'll see what it takes to get through there. You may get a pullback in one more entry, but I think most of the value here is lost. If you would have got it right there around 1,000, you could be pushing this into a 3 and a 4x, because just look at, most likely I'd say 3. I could well, I'll just finish the lesson here on Palladium. And I don't think I would say physical with Palladium. I will show you some metals like silver. And we'll talk about physical a little bit here and there, and you'll see that in the metal videos that I have. But the Fibonacci retracements takes you up to about 2,800 at the 786, which would be what the metals tend to use. And you'll have some periods on the way up where there'll be pullbacks, but that value of that metal position pushed up and selling in the 3 or 4. Now, obviously, people get real crazy with it up here, and it may break. It's hard to say, but from down in the bottom, I'll give you 3 if you want a trade call on a metal. But you would have had to been paying attention to me before that. So remember, engage, like, subscribe, come down and talk to Moneymaker. Moneymakers you'll talk to, and then you'll come over to Telegram, and then I'll have to build this. I had other Telegram channels, and I'm building a new one just for the YouTube, first 50 subs. Like I said, and I just come over, and already got some of y'all in mind, so I know some of y'all are already over here, and some of y'all will be coming. And just do that for me, and we'll end up with a Telegram with real people and chatting. I want people to engage, have enough time to check in, and is going to keep up with this stuff, and are interested and can make money off of this. That's the people I want, not the bullshitters, the runner arounders, the blah, 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 blah. No, I want people that are engaged in crypto work, not a whole bunch of bullshit. Excuse me. I don't like having videos like this on YouTube, especially when you guys first meet me. But there's no bullshit coming over to my Telegrams that I'm building, and a lot of what shows up in the social media land, YouTube, Twitter. I have a Twitter, I have Facebook, and all that is not coming over to my Telegram and chatting about a darn thing with my presence around. And that's what I'll tell you there. So Palladium, what are we going to do tonight? The story tonight is 10:55. So I'm going to time this one at 11. Link is the story. We're going to link on down now. Now, I told y'all that I would take you to the moon on light. And then I've been showing you the silver. Silver still's a show again. These videos and these calls that I made on silver are all the way back to April. Of course, Shift come out a few months later and called the silver call, and all the silver, there's some good people out there. And I joined communities and have found some really good people. But I started showing this around 29. Even these dips in here, I was saying, you know, you may get it down to 24. I don't think it ever quite made it down to 24. Maybe right here, I was looking at it. Short before that, trying to catch this 14 area, and we got it down to about 17. But then this thing set up and started going that way, and these have been some good moves. Leverage traders can take advantage of this. You don't want to mess with it too much now. You're going to go up in the top. Where do I think it's going to go? I've covered that many times in a lot of my videos. Now, this chart's a little different because I got crypto fibs on there taking this to silver 220. That dude's lost his mind. I ain't watching him no more. There's a clear silver chart to the moon. Lovely candle pouring right there as we go into the first stages of a bull. And that's what you should understand is all of this pattern stuff. And then we go into the very first stages of a bull, really. They had a little bit of a pullback. So you start to look at that and you start to look up. And I think we're most likely going to push in the end of this 100, I think. And, you know, for me, I pushed everybody as hard as I could around 30. Silver Bull, they didn't even break right there. They just blew that. So they'll probably come back and check back in about 46. I'm not advising anybody on this one at this point, although you could be looking at about 100%, but I'm not this type of person. I did my job at 29. I'm not going to do my job way up there with folks that are probably going to hold too long and then on top of that, get in too late and not really know what to do. You can see that's what I was looking for on my silver coverage on the macro tonight. And you know, there's no money to be made off this, but there's a lot of understanding because I sit here and mock the bears all the way up. Bears part one got left behind, Bears part two got left behind, Bears part three got left behind. And now we're in the first part of the Silver Bowl. And you've got a very nice, longer term candle like that right there. And for me, people are wanting to come and get into this right now. You missed it. Other people will tell you different. If you don't buy silver now, you're gonna miss it. It's gonna go to 1,000, all kind of stuff. But I'm not those kind of people. 75 to 100, I think, is where we're gonna end up with my silver call. And that would be 30 to these areas that it pushes into. And then the next cycle will be very, 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 very interesting. The crypto market is having another sleepy weekend. Sleepy week for the most part. The Fed's cut. We're going to be the focus, and the focus coming along will be on jobs numbers. You can see Tesla's been positive, so it's up in the 440 range. I do cover stocks. You'll see that sometimes. Not tonight. We're going to go to the big boys. Because I was covering a leverage trade for you. And depending on what kind of leverage that you use, there's just not a lot going on. Plus, Litecoin caught the blood and Linker. Now, this video and how much I get in the link will just kind of depend right here because it's the end of the night and I am running late. And that's I'm telling on myself because I promise I said 8, but you guys never wait on me. You should have plenty of videos. Speaking to clients, you got 2 channels over there with probably at least 100 videos you have not watched. And just because they're maybe a month old, they're still good. You go perusing through them and listening to them, and you'll be like, holy crap, where's another video like this? I need to go through them and purge them, and I will be deleting some of I had some degen issues. And it just worked its way into my stuff, and it will never happen again. I can tell you that. Anyway, none of that, Scotty Moneymaker. Scott, did you tell the story? Link, like, is where we're going on Tuesday when I make another video for you. I can't exactly remember what the video Tuesday was. You guys got a metal section coming. You've got some longer videos that are my special hour live rooms that I do. The first 50 subs that show interest and engage and come down and ask intelligent, thought inducing questions, answer some of my questions I may ask you in these videos, which we'll do that along the way. But and are interested in a Telegram that I just run basically 2 nights. I'll come in and check in, and I'll be making these videos, and you'll get bunches of charts. And anything I show you over here, I definitely will have a responsibility in myself to bring charts and answer questions. So that's what I'll say. You'll be engaging in the YouTube videos. Does that mean you can come and request for me to look at a coin and this or that or this or that? Maybe if you catch me in the right mood, but I'm a very busy man, and I cover a lot of stuff that's private. and I'll be working you into the private stuff, because that's what, if you want to be a millionaire, that's where we're going. We're going into my private information. I'm going on warm work, and I'm going to work on making you a millionaire. If you're already a millionaire, we'll work on wherever your goals are. If you're good with what you got going on, you can hang out on YouTube all you want. So that's what I'll say. So, is there any money to be made on silver right now? Yeah, if you've been listening to me since April, and even before that, I have videos before that. So that's how I ended with silver, but silver stole the show, and palladium stole the show. So, it's a crypto, mostly crypto. Everybody wants crypto. Everybody wants this. Everyone wants that. But that's what stole the show. We did get a bid on the dollar, but I am expecting the sellers to show up without getting into this one too much. Probably the 38. Yeah. I expect the sellers to come and push down into 91, and risk to show up, and alt season to show its nasty little head. Showing too many alts on crypto, a lot of people won't pay attention to, even though that's where the better money is. So sometimes on these videos, I'll slip, if I've got an Emmy, I'll slip nuggets in at the end for you guys that are alts folks, which is going to be important coming up. And when you get into the Telegram and you can chat, obviously there'll be some discussion. You guys can bring some funny stuff. Y'all can get me interested in some different things. I'm looking for 50 very engaging humans that can come over and participate in my Telegram and act right, not shill shit, are not hooked in gambling, and have some intelligence to themselves and don't cause problems. That's what I'm looking for. The rest of it will work itself out if you're interested in the more professional, private, what I do. And you get taste of it. Believe me, that short right there is very valuable. Fiats, pound, euro, New Zealand, Australian dollar will most likely moon on this. The metals will be lifted up, and what will the alts do? Hopefully, they'll go to the moon. And for the folks that called BTC top, now y'all know I've covered a leverage trade here, and it went up, and you could have took plenty of profit if you took it. My strategy here was to attempt to get a move to 150. It took it back. I cleared the trade. It didn't look good. The charts hadn't looked good. I haven't got back into it, even though I'll run around telling you I've got 100x on it. That's social media shit. I just do what everybody else does. What are you doing here? It's still a pretty good spot. And what I'll tell you, for me, as I'm kind of just sitting here looking at it, I'm not really the leverage trader that I'll play you out and I am, but I'm a 4x, and I like 20x, and I like shorting. So I didn't really like the short here. If you go to the other time frame, shorting in the moving average, it doesn't make sense. This is 618. The Aussies love the golden pocket. There's a lot of things you could say about the short. I don't agree with the people who have called the top, not with the gold sentiment out there. Even if they get it right, it doesn't make sense to me, because those same people will go running around everywhere talking about gold. BTC's going to the moon. So my call still that this thing is going to come in here and make a run to 144 to 150. Will we go one level lower? I covered Ethereum this week. For them to flush another 4 or 5%, you can't rule that out. So your leverage here is iffy, because the last time they corrected, they did test that green. The green's going to make a lot of bears come out. That has to breach and print candles up under 100 before my bear comes out. And I feel like they're going to eventually come in here and break this. Now, it's an ugly pattern. It looks a lot like this. It looks in so many ways like this, and that it wants to go down, even though that's more of a double top. Back here, this is more of a bull flag in so many ways that sets up and goes. These leverage trades here are what you want. These leverage trades that I come in here the other night and threw at you guys, this is, yeah, it's okay, off that blue. A bull is not necessarily going to come in here and go back below that. So that's why I'm kind of like, do I want to take a leverage trade here? For me, there's better choices. So I'm going to scoot on the Ethereum, and I'm going to let y'all do what you do. But I do like that area there, and I am watching it, and I may be jumping into a leverage long there if I get a little bit more evidence. Now, what is the evidence? People use heat maps, all kinds of things with the leverage. I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm not a leverage teacher or that in crypto. It's not the best for most folks. I can tell you that, but you can see the opportunity you're going after. That's what you're going after. The same thing I went after before. The same thing you may have done and made some good money, depending on what kind of leverage. you're going to have to use lower leverage to survive the volatility and what this does to your account. Forex is a lot different, and you have margin accounts, and it's just different. So that's what I'll tell you about all of that, and I'll let you make your decisions. My call is that that's not a top, and that we're going higher. It only makes sense. The rest of what people are doing out there with patterns and Elliott wave and stuff that I've looked at, I don't so much agree with. We'll see what happens. For one, top colors it's you just call your top and call your bottom or whatever. Nobody cares and nobody makes money off that shit. So you just keep doing that. It's more important to have the proper thought process up here with your money. And I've laid that out very well privately with the folks that are laid out in BTC. My calls have been long since 60, and really long since 30. I didn't like down at 15 with BTC, but except for cheap and investment. But the BlackRock thing, there was a lot of indecision down here. The world wasn't so great, but once they took off around about 25 or so is where put my folks in who wanted to be involved in this. This move up into here, I didn't expect from down here. From 70, it could have turned into a real big mess right here. So, but all of my calls were long, and the leverage calls are right there and right there, and they're pretty easy if they step down there again. And that's a little bit of my delay in my on my trigger finger right now is they corrected here, they went to the green, they corrected here, they went to the green. What's the probability that whoever called 100 is right? It's very possible, but what I'll tell you, blow off tops are not going to do the same thing as I end this. And you are very close to support. The first call around, well, about 110 is that call. You can go back and watch the video. We're right back around that area. It's about 110 where I got in last time. And then right here. So, and I think it's probably better time spent on Ethereum and Litecoin. So that's what I'll say about it. And I've been going a while. And I promised the link tonight. And I promised Litecoin that I'd take you to the moon. But you see the problem with 2 videos a week in so many ways, plus all the other stuff I do. So I have 3 hours I already did this week. And eventually I'll have 2 more videos that go along with these videos that won't be on YouTube. And the Twitter videos that drop are ones that I've already made. So it's a little different. So I'm going to go over to link. And just know when you're on this channel now, you're going to get a lot of this one. And until it does its thing. And once it does its thing, I don't care about it no more. I'm not a link head. I'm not a link marine, all that stuff. It is Oracle. It's technically the number 3 coin. What do you mean, Scott? BTC, Ethereum, Link. Kick light to the curve as a fort. XRP is a scam. ADA is a scam. Anybody wants to throw Caspa is what they're trying to say now, or whatever. Whatever. If there's a third one, it's Link, and it's the Oracle. And you can see the circle there if you're looking for entries, and you may not get it. Because if you understand fibs, and that's what I teach about and work around them probably the most is the math. What have I done here? Now I'm gonna clear the chart because it's a little too messy. And I'm just gonna pull the whole leg because that's what most people understand. And I'll tighten it up just a bit because of the volatility. So they've hit a 50. Now some people in professional markets, the 50 is the place where you buy. In crypto, 618 is hit more often than not. And then when they're real bearish, even if they're going higher, they'll go to the 833. So there's a chance you get it at 14 again. I don't think you're going to see that. Put a chart again. Is there a chance that that's the bottom or that's the local bottom? The issue is the wick down there in the bottom because you could get rid of that wick. See the wick down there? And pull up just a, you'd have a hard time pressing that off. This one may have one more rip to the downside. So what does that mean for the rest of the market? Blow some blood. There may be some blood. This one could just drift a little while. It looks to me like it's, the thing about it is when I say there's a rip to the downside, when it comes to volatility and crude, that's not that much for us that watch this all the time. So that, if you don't have Lincoln, if you've been following me, you already got it. Here and here. Now back here, I didn't like it so much. There wasn't enough going on in this market for me to see that so much coming. And then they ripped it back down and then they ripped it up. And you can see you didn't miss anything besides some trading. Trading's different. What happens here is most people didn't make any money. Why? Because they believed it was going higher. The volatility here is normal, although a bull's just going to take off and go. All you got to do is look in the back. So a bull, after going sideways for a while, is going to come in and go sideways for a while and then pretty much take off. The volatility here is kind of strange in so many ways, but it's just gotten more messy. A lot of stuff that's going on with crypto. And you can begin to clear the chart with Link, and you can kind of see. And I'll take you to the red moving averages. I made a little quick video tonight on adding the indicators, as I showed you, TCL moving averages. You can, I think you can add it to a free version. I'm not sure. I'll leave that up to you. But you see there. So the last bull, they're really respecting that until it's over. I mean, hell, the people up here think it's over here, so it's not technically over till it's at 20. I mean, you're gonna tell that to the people up at 50 and 60 who bought it, who were told that it was going to 1,000. So there's a lot of things that I could say about this right now, and it's starting to parch up my mouth and everything and my throat. And I've had a busy week, and even though this is for the clients, they have my targets and they have my one-on-one access, and then come talk to me about anything in this video. And now that you guys, that I'm gonna, and it's gonna take me a while to, I've got to build a new Telegram and set it up the proper way so you guys can chat. And it's just probably going to just be one channel, I think, is what we need. Or maybe have me coming from one channel and then having you on another channel like I've done before. So I got to work on that, and I'm not promising when. But you're gonna want to come down and engage a moneymaker. You may see me, but I've got a bunch of different accounts, so I don't know that you'll figure out who I am. Some of y'all will because you're on my other profiles. And engage and say, hey, I want to be in that Telegram and I want to participate and I'm serious. You can have crypto, you can have not crypto, you could be a beginner, but you gotta have some smarts to you. You gotta have some smarts when it comes to online and being able to deal with somebody like me and coming in and participating. And you gotta have time and you need some money. You need to be capitalized. This I'm not doing this for people who got $100 and are trying to become, but turn it to 1,000, become millionaires. I'm not doing this for people who want to trade every freaking day and try to grind out income and not work and have no training at all and don't want to spend any money. Training costs about 5 to 10 grand, real training. And real folks have to put in a lot of god doggone time, 2 to 4 years before they make anything of this. And for the most part, anything and everything that shows up when I post crypto or show crypto or make videos like this is not something that I'm interested in. I'm interested in the first 50 people that show me they got the time and the energy for what I do. And I can tell you what, it'll take a while because there's not many people out left out in crypto that have that time and energy or that money or are interested in this because there's 10 million coins and they got 100 of them and they're going to zero. I'll see you in the next video. More link to come, more light to come, more micro to come. I'm not too sure that was a macro video, but I did do BTC and a little bit of, yeah. So link on a Saturday night, was that macro or was that more like a Tuesday video? I'll let y'all tell me. Engage down in the comments, YouTube focused.